What's up, everybody, and welcome to my Raw review. And as you can see, last night the guest host was revealed to be The Rock. That's right, The Rock returned last night on Monday Night Raw. At the end of the show, it was in rare Rock form. In other words, he had not missed a step. I mean, he did kind of shoot with us as Dwayne Johnson, saying that if it wasn't for us as the fans, he wouldn't be where he is today. He also mentioned that he would never leave again. We're not really sure how much that is true. My only guess is maybe he'll start doing more sporadical appearances, or depending on his schedule. Maybe he'll do what guys like Hogan has done. Maybe he'll have a few sporadical matches here and there. We're not really sure. But again, Rock was in rare form last night. There's no doubt about it. Like I said, it's like he has not missed a beat. He's not missed a beat. I mean, let's just put it that way. I mean, he went off on a couple of people. I mean, he finally did what a lot of fans have been hoping for. He finally told Michael Cole to basically shove it. Basically told Michael Cole to shut his mouth and know his role. Basically put Michael Cole in his place last night. And then he targeted both The Miz and John Cena. With The Miz, he said every time Miz comes out and says he's awesome, that in reality Miz is actually just telling everybody, hey, I suck. And then he targeted John Cena. Now, for some of you that don't know why he targeted John Cena, well, John Cena, as we all know, kind of shot on The Rock, kind of shooted on The Rock for not being part of the business, for not, for kind of turning his back on the fans and everything. Well, Rock acknowledged that, acknowledged the fact that, every time, that it seems like every other few months, that every other few months or something like that, John Cena comes out with a different colored t-shirt and cap, looking like a big old, as he put a bowl of Fruity Pebbles. Those, acknowledge the fact that they've gone from Austin 316 to The Rock to now You Can't See Me. In other words, mocking the You Can't See Me by saying it's more like he's playing a game of peekaboo. So, but overall, it was great to see The Rock back. So yeah, he's going to be the guest host for WrestleMania. He'll be hosting it. And apparently, rumors going around now that they might have a little confrontation, sort of an attitude error confrontation between him and the McMahons, maybe Vince, maybe all of them, we don't know. The reason this is being rumored now is because last night, before The Rock was revealed, we saw this limo pull up, and we saw this lady step out. We weren't sure, nobody knew who the lady was, but according to some people, if you look at the ankles, that the lady possibly was Stephanie McMahon. So, and that very soon, especially with WrestleMania around the corner, the anonymous GM will finally be revealed as either Stephanie or, get this, Vince McMahon. Yeah, I know that doesn't make sense, but let me explain why it does. Vince McMahon has played this role before, sort of. See, back in the late 90s, when he was feuding with Austin and everything, and he basically made it look like he was turning face, right? It was during the whole Ministry of Darkness deal, the whole corporate ministry deal. And with the whole corporate ministry, all of a sudden there was this cloaked figure, this powerful figure that Undertaker and Shane and Paul Bearer and everybody were answering to. Nobody knew who it was, except for Austin, because the person revealed himself to Austin. And then we find out the week later that it's Vince McMahon. So the truth is, it could be Vince McMahon that's the general manager. Maybe not, we're not really sure. Then again, it could be Stephanie. Because let's not forget, they had a little skit. I don't know if it was a skit or what was going on about a month ago or so, or a few back, well, basically back in November or something like that. I don't know what, back in December or January, where they had Stephanie wake up from what looks like a dream, and then gets told by Triple H that her father's still in a coma, and she's like, "Oh, thank goodness!" Like she was happy about it. So, who knows? But that's what's being rumored there. And you know, besides Rock coming back and being in rare form and everything, and being not losing a step, it was a decent last Raw going into the Elimination Chamber. Basically, the setup for the night was all the Elimination Chamber competitors on the Raw side were going to compete in matches. So we start off with CM Punk and John Cena. Decent opener, kind of back and forth. But till the end, when John Cena ends up losing to CM Punk, thanks to the help of a Nexus member that apparently we find out later on was Michael McGillicuddy under the ring. See what happens, McGillicuddy gave Punk a chair, Punk threw the chair in, distracted the ref, kind of threw John Cena off. John Cena goes to see what's going on, gets whacked in the head by a wrench given to CM Punk by that Nexus member, like I said, who I think is revealed later on to be McGillicuddy. And thus, CM Punk wins the match. Okay, now, if I remember correctly, the next thing we have, I believe, is a confrontation between Alberto Del Rio and Edge. I'm not really sure. Now you might be saying to yourself, well, why is Edge on Raw? Why does Alberto Del Rio keep constantly being on Raw? Okay. Well, first of all, the reason they're on Raw is to kind of plug the fact that the 600th episode of SmackDown is this Friday. Okay? That's why they're on Raw. So, anyway, I'm believing that's what's next. Let me check here. Yeah, that's what's next. And that was what's next. And basically they have a confrontation, a little physicality happens, and then Vicky Guerrero comes out. And Vicky says, "Hey, guess what, Edge? Basically, Vicky comes out and says, hey, guess what? You're not champion anymore. Dolph is." Even though Edge beat Dolph on SmackDown, she still says Dolph's the champion because Edge used the spear. Alright, but let's take a look at it this way. The referee counted the 1, 2, 3. Now everybody's wondering who gave Clay Matthews of the Green Bay Packers the authority to do that. I think we're going to find out that answer tonight at the tapings, and then this Friday during the airing. But anyway, yeah, she basically comes out, says Dolph's the new champion. They're going to have the coronation on SmackDown. Oh, and by the way, Edge is going to probably lose his job now because she knows Edge attacked Teddy Long. And Edge is looking at her like, "What are you talking about? You know, you're alright. What are you talking about?" So basically what it is, it looks like they're trying to, I think what it is, basically with this situation with Vicky, is they're trying to make her look almost like she's getting ready to lose her mind, starting to lose it a little bit, maybe getting desperate enough, perhaps getting so desperate to the point that she's just going to hand the title to Dolph. I don't know. Well, the next thing that happened after that is we had the Divas title match between Natalya and Eve, and I guess there was a last minute stipulation there was going to be a Lumberjill match, and it was an okay, decent Diva title match. Eve actually showed some high risk maneuver, actually diving off the apron onto some of the Divas outside. But in the end, Eve did win. She kind of reversed a roll up that Natalya was trying. And thus, Eve ends up retaining the championship. Now, later on, right after that, we go backstage and Eve's getting threatened by the Bellas. The Bellas are basically getting in her face, they attack her, Gail comes in, Natalya comes in. So, it looks like they may be setting up a program between the Bellas and Eve. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do a co-champion deal with the Bellas like they've done with LayCool. We'll see what happens. You know, because it seems kind of ironic to me that on SmackDown, the WWE's teasing once again a potential dissension and breakup between LayCool, and ironically, this is happening at the same time that the Bellas have turned heel. Coincidence? Maybe, but who knows? But anyway, I lost my spot here. Oh, okay. Anyway, the next thing that happened was Mark Henry was scheduled for a match, but Sheamus comes down and attacks him, and basically says, "This is an example of what I'm going to do to Randy Orton and everybody in the chamber." Basically, he kicks him with the bro kick once. Then on his way back, after he does that little promo, kicks Mark Henry in the head again. Now, I don't know what this is going to lead towards, because last time I heard, they're trying to lead towards another Triple H Sheamus match at WrestleMania. But I'll get into that in just a little bit too. But if that's not the case, it looks like they may do a Sheamus Mark Henry thing. But we're not really sure. Okay. So after that, we get The Miz and Daniel Bryan. And this is a very decent match. This is a very good match. In fact, many people consider it the match of the night for Raw. Back and forth action, very good. Miz actually showing some innovation. What I mean is he caught Daniel Bryan in the middle rope, in between the top and second rope, and hit a neck breaker, and the neck breaker looked sick right onto the floor. It looked sick, I'll be honest with you. But Daniel Bryan was able to bounce back from that, and while they were both on, I think, the top rope or the second rope, he was able to hit his sunset flip powerbomb into a pin, almost winning the match. Now, like I say, it was a good, decent match back and forth, and in the end, Miz was able to reverse. It looked like a roll-up or something that Daniel Bryan was trying to try. Reversed it, dropped Daniel Bryan onto the mat, and then, as Daniel got up, he hit him with the skull-crushing finale. 1, 2, 3. Now, I will say this about WWE. It looks like in non-title matches, they're making Miz look like a believable and viable champion. But when he's defending the championship, they make him look weak. So I don't know what sense that makes. You know, if you're going to make him look like a strong champion, make him look strong both ways. Don't just make him look strong in non-title matches. Make him look strong both ways. You know what I'm saying? Well, anyway, Miz then does this little promo on Jerry Lawler. He does kind of get serious, he does get serious, and out of respect, does send his condolences to Jerry Lawler and his family. Because if you don't know, Jerry Lawler's mother passed away, so my prayers, of course, are with the Lawler family as well. But yeah, he sent us his condolences, and then he gets back into being, the Miz by saying, "I just hope, he doesn't use this as an excuse for when he loses on Sunday." So anyway. The next match was originally supposed to be John Morrison and R-Truth one-on-one. But instead, because of what Punk did to Morrison last week, and apparently what happened earlier with John Cena, they decided, okay, we're going to make this a tag match. So on one end, you got new Nexus members, or straight edge Nexus members as I like to call them, David Otunga and Michael McGillicuddy. And on the other, with Mason Ryan at ringside, and the opponents are John Morrison and R-Truth, the two men that were supposed to face each other. Now, this was an okay tag match. John Morrison definitely showed a lot of aggression. It looks like they may start developing something there with Morrison. I'm not really sure what it's going to be. And Punk, it looks like they're going to start something with Morrison and Punk real soon. that might lead into WrestleMania, it might be afterwards, might be in between, we don't know. But that's what it looks like they're playing up to, because Morrison had a lot of aggression, and basically doing one of his offensive maneuvers was basically yelling out to Punk, "I hope you saw that," or something like, "I hope you're watching." So anyway, it's a pretty good match. One of the moves I like about it, one of the moves of the match I did like of this tag match was when it's like out of nowhere, R-Truth is coming in, and it's like you didn't even see it coming. He just arm flips, he just hip tosses R-Truth over the top rope onto Mason Ryan. Alright, so that was pretty cool. So anyway, then we have the Khali Kiss Cam. That's right, the Khali Kiss Cam is back again. And this time, it's hosted not by just Great Khali and Rajin Singh, it's hosted by Ariel Winter. Now, in case you don't know who Ariel Winter is, she's the star of, I think, Martin Family or something like that. And she's also the co-star of The Chaperone, which stars Triple H. So anyway, they have the Khali Kiss Cam. Now, in case you don't know what the Kiss Cam is, basically what it does is the Kiss Cam's been around. Okay, it's been around. Alright, they've had it when Maria was doing it, and now they have Khali doing it. So, they have not just, and usually it's just in the arena, but now they have it all over the place for this one night. They have, they have regular fan couples doing it, then they have Santino and Tamina do it, which I like. I like Santino and Tamina. I don't know, I just like that. Then they had Maurice do it with Tatsu after it looks like she was going to kiss DiBiase, she blows him off and kisses Tatsu. That's pretty cool. So it looks like they may start slowly turning her face. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure. Like I said, they might turn her face. I don't know. Then they had Vicky and Dolph do it. Then they have William Regal kissing Zack Ryder on the cheek. It's like, what the hell? And then they have Hornswoggle come in, give Ariel Winter a box of chocolates, and he gets a kiss on the cheek for that as well. So that's pretty cool. So, yeah, the Khali Kiss Cam was back last night. Then after that we have Randy Orton and Sheamus, and this was a decent 5 to 6 minute match. Randy Orton ends up winning it with the RKO out of nowhere. Then CM Punk comes in, attacks Randy Orton along with the new Nexus. R-Truth comes down to help. John Morrison comes down to help. R-Truth comes down to help. John Cena comes down to help. And they basically all fight off Nexus, who I think a couple of them ended up getting RKO'd by Randy. Now, after that, we see the limo pull in. We see a woman step out, and like I mentioned, people are speculating that it possibly was Stephanie McMahon. And then instead of a female host or hostess, we end up getting, that's right, just like I mentioned, The Rock, which I think was a great move on WWE's part. Because the rumor mill was about, it was either going to be Bieber, Barker, or whoever. But it ended up being The Rock, and it was just, like I said, the ovation he got was an ovation we had not heard in quite some time, and it was just, like I said at the beginning, it was just, Rock was in rare form. There's nothing you could really there's nothing bad you could really say about that. So, overall, Raw was definitely one of the best final Raws or lead-ins or lead-in Raws into the elimination into a pay-per-view that I've seen in a while. And I would definitely give it a 10 out of 10. 1-800 service, I don't answer that. but I give it a 10 out of 10 because basically, with the exception of like, say, the Khali kiss cam and all that, and a few other vignettes, I think, or backstage stuff that I know that I've read. Let me see. I'm trying to see here. Like I said, with the exception of the Khali kiss cam, and I guess in some people's mind the Divas match, which I still thought was decent, which I thought was decent, no matter what people say, I think Eve is definitely improving. There's no doubt about that. She has improved. I have to say it was a 10 out of 10 show. I give it 10 out of 10. I mean, if Rock wasn't there, you know, probably be 7 out of 10 maybe, or 8 out of 10. But I give it a 10 out of 10 because Rock definitely saved that show at the end. And with being who he is, just being himself, and, you know, really that's all I can say. Of course, throughout the night, they also had final promos and vignettes on Raw for next week, for 2/21/11. And it looks like it's going to be The Undertaker. But according to PWI Torch, it also looked like a second figure was added to the vignettes as well. So even though it looks like it's The Undertaker, and it definitely seems like The Undertaker, all evidence is pointing towards that, they're throwing in now another, curveball by saying that there's another, I guess placing another figure in there as well. So we'll see what happens. Now, again, like I say, definitely a 10 out of 10 show. Tell me what you guys think, and I hope you enjoyed my Raw review. And yes, The Rock has finally come back. How long will it be? Is it till WrestleMania? Is it a little after? Maybe will he do a Hulk Hogan? We'll find out. Thank you all for watching. Peace.